This is the Insightly Chromalox training. This is video 4, and in this video we're going to be talking about reporting. Now, one of the reasons why you'll want to use the reporting section of Insightly instead of just looking at different filters is that reporting will be able to give you more exact results for what you're looking for. It will also be able to perform some basic calculations and show you the relationships between different types of records. So let me give you a tour here around what the reports look like in Insightly. In Insightly, to reach the report section, you'll just come down and click on the last icon here on the left for reports. Once you're on the reporting page, there's a couple of things to note. One is that at the top you'll see two different folders. One is for reports that you personally have created yourself and chosen not to share, and the second is for any reports that are shared, so whether you created them or someone else created them. You'll also notice there are lots of other reports down here below. As you click on one of the report types, like let's say opportunity reports, for example, this will show you the different types of opportunity reports that you can pull. So the top one is a general opportunity report. The next one down is an activity report, and this will show you notes and tasks and events that are related to a particular opportunity. Next, you'll see opportunity history report. This will show you things like when the opportunity was created, when it advanced to the different pipeline stages, and those type of things. And then finally, you'll see the opportunity linked items report. That one will show you the contacts and organizations and tasks and those things that it's related to. Okay, so it'll show those relationships together. To get started today, I want to start a new report with you, and we're just going to create a general opportunity report in this example. So I'm going to click on Opportunity Report, and when I do that, it's going to pull up this set of reports or filters and parameters, as well as these stock columns to display. But all of these are able to be edited, and so we're going to start off by editing some of the columns. If there's a column that you don't need, like let's say in here I don't want to see bid currency, then I can go ahead and cross that one out and it will disappear from the display. I can also reorder things that are in here, so if I wanted to see the expected revenue, I could move that up higher in the report. So there's lots of options for how to display the data. Also, to add new columns, everything that's over here on the left-hand side in the report fields can all be added to the columns here. So you can open up these folders here and then see all of these different types of information that can be added. I'm going to open up some of the custom fields for opportunities and add some of those in. So if I wanted to add in the market, for example, I find the market and just drag and drop it over here, and it will display that now in the columns. If I also wanted to know the bid type, I could drop that over here as well. So again, it's just a very simple drag and drop process. A couple of other things that you can do visually with the data is that you can group things based on similar custom fields or similar responses. So let's say for bid type, for example, or by market, if I wanted to sort everything in here by market, then I could grab that market and drop it up here into this column header. When you do that, it's now going to break everything down by market. So there's 58 of these opportunities that do not have a market listed, but as I continue to scroll down here, now you'll see that there's one for this particular market, and here's another one for building and construction, and another one for chemical. So it will break things down for you if you would like. Next, let's take a look at the report filters and parameters. So it does provide you with some stock setup options, but all of these are editable, and you can manipulate them to be what you need them to be. I'm going to go ahead and leave all opportunities up here. If I didn't want it, then I could just click the remove button and remove that filter altogether. Next, let's say that maybe I want to look at opportunities that were created year to date. So I'm going to come in here and edit this date filter. So I'm going to keep the date created, but instead of this quarter, I'm going to change it to be year to date. Now, if you hover over this I, it will tell you some wording that you can use in in the date filters. The purpose of this is so that if this is a report you're running on like a monthly basis, you don't have to go in and re-enter in all of the dates, but it will show you the parameter, it'll reset the parameters based on what you have written in here. Okay. So in here I'm going to go ahead and put in this year. Okay. All right. And then I'll click save. Okay, and if you notice here, it's giving me the start date and end date, so I can remove that as well. Next, I want to add a new filter to only look at the opportunities that are currently open. So to do that, I'm just going to come in and add a filter row. And when I do that, you notice that I have options here to either have it be an and or an or. If I select and, it's going to make my range of exports that come out to be smaller. If I put in the word or, it's going to pull in more data for me. So keep that in mind. And will expand your data, and or will reduce the data that shows up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it as and I'm going to set this to be for opportunities that are currently open. So I'm going to scroll down here and find where it says opportunity state is equal to open. Now, just to show you some of the other things that you can do, you could also select, if I said I want to see open and suspended, I could see both of them here. And just be aware that you do have several operator options that you can select from here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add that. And it is reducing the data output that's coming out for me. Okay, if I wanted to add in another one, let me add in another filter here. For this example, let's think about if I wanted to see any opportunities that were created this year and were open, or if there was a specific region that I wanted to see the opportunities regardless of when they were created and regardless of what their opportunity state was. Now I'm talking about adding an or filter. So I'm going to come in here and add another filter row and choose the word or. And then I'm going to find scroll down here and find my region or sales territory is equal to, and let's say I wanted, let's say I wanted this sales Pacific Northwest. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is that whenever you're adding in filters that include or, you can run into issues with filter logic. So for example, if you are using several ors or even one or, sometimes it'll pull data that you're not expecting. So one thing that I encourage you to do anytime that you're using ors as part of your filter is to make sure that you add some filter logic. So I'm going to come up here and you'd click on this funnel, and this means filter logic. And basically what you're doing here is putting in parentheses so that Insightly can read the order of what you're looking for with your ands and ors. So in this example, I'm going to put in 1 and 2, showing that I wanted to make sure that it was created this year and open, or any opportunities that have been a part of my desired territory. I'll click OK, and that will save that on there. Now, if you notice, it's also putting in some suggested sums for you. So it's summing up your opportunity values and your expected revenue. And you'll see those sums at the end of each one of these sections. Okay, so if I scroll down here, you'll see that here it will give you the expected revenue and the total value. All right. So now that we've gotten a good feel for that, there's a couple of other things that you can do on these reports as well. You can add in some very simple graphics. So if I click here and add a chart to the report, give my internet a second to load here. Here you can see the different chart options that are available, and then you would select what you want to have on the x-axis and on the y-axis. Again, these are fairly simple charts, but if this is one that you wanted to see on a regular basis, then you could save the chart to have it display with you here on this report every time it runs. Okay, next let's talk about what to do to save the report and then be able to schedule it to run on a regular basis. So I've created the report. If this is exactly what I wanted, then I would save the report. I'm going to title this one Sample 1 and choose it just to be in my personal reports. If you did want to share it, then you could put it in the shared reports folder. Okay, so I'm going to save the report. And now once I have run the report one time, so if I click Run Report, and this is what the report looks like. Now I have the option to be able to schedule it. So if you notice, I can now schedule and choose who the report is run as and who receives the report. So if I wanted to send it to multiple people, then I could select multiple people here from the list. And then you can choose the frequency of when you want to receive the report. So if I wanted to receive this every Sunday, I could set that up here, and you could even select different delivery times. So if I wanted that Sundays at midnight, I could set that up. Okay. Once you have this scheduled the way you want, make sure that the report schedule is active down here by checking on that box, and then go ahead and click Save Schedule. And that is your report overview for Insightly. Again, I think reporting is really powerful for getting you more exact results and including calculations and looking at relationships. Thanks so much.